Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo meets with APC leaders in Delta State, says the change is coming, as PDP calls visit an attempt to subvert the electoral process during governorship polls. Group of presidential candidates ask Atiku Abubakar not to challenge the presidential election result in court. PDP demands release of Atiku's son-in-law. Federal High Court in Abuja orders final forfeiture of property belonging to late Chief of Defense Staff Alex Bade. And Venezuela's self-declared interim leader Juan Guaido returns to continue protests against President Nicolas Maduro.
On business news tonight, loading of Nigeria's two major crude grades suffers delay following partial shutdown of key export pipeline.
On sports news tonight, Super Eagles technical advisor Gennard Rowe unveils his squad for the final 2019 AFCON qualifier and international friendly against Egypt.
Hello, and from Abuja, court nullifies People's Democratic Party's governorship candidacy in Kano with the non-conduct of primaries. Orders party to conduct primary election within 14 days.
The All Progressives Congress APC is not blinking as it mobilizes supporters from the party ahead of the governorship elections this weekend. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who visited the Petroleum Training Institute, Efuru, in Delta State, told stakeholders at a town hall meeting that the much-expected change is coming to the oil-rich state. Before leaving for Akwa Ibom State on a similar mission, he also promised that the government would tackle the security challenges in the state.
With 5 days left to the governorship elections, the All Progressives Congress, the APC, is reaching out to its supporters in Delta State to dot all I's and cross all T's. This town hall meeting has the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, representing President Muhammadu Buhari. The national chairman of the party and some party bigwigs are also present. The party's governorship candidate, Grace Oboru, speaks on behalf of the people on an issue they say dampened their spirits during the just concluded presidential election.
That the security issues may hamper their ability to effect their franchise to a logical conclusion.
To further buttress the point, this indigene alleges harassment faced by APC supporters. The Vice President promises that the party will address the security fears of supporters.
Every one of us has taken into account all of the issues you have raised, especially the issue of security. It's a very fundamental issue. It is a way by which in the past we have seen how the PDP has used security, abused security. We've seen how this has been done in the past very often, very frequently, and how they have managed to emerge as victors when they are actually losers. So there's no reason at all why we should not pay special attention to security, and we will do so.
The zeal to unseat the incumbent government is high in the camp of the All Progressives Congress, and the party knows it will take all the support from faithful to achieve this.
Meanwhile, the Delta State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is alleging that the Vice President's visit to Delta State has nothing to do with the good and progress of the state. The party, in a statement, is also alleging that the Vice President's visit is a move to perfect plans to subvert the electoral process and the ultimate democratic decision of Deltans who have sworn to return Governor Ifeanyi Okowa for a well-deserved second term and vote for all the PDP candidates in the March 9th 2019 State Assembly elections. The statement explains that the people of Delta State are resolute on voting for the candidate of the PDP in Saturday's election. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has encouraged supporters of the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State to come out in their numbers to vote in Saturday's governorship and State House of Assembly elections. The Vice President made a call at a meeting with leaders of the APC in Uyo, the state capital, held to clarify issues surrounding the party's poor performance in the presidential and National Assembly elections. Amongst their grievances, members of the state chapter of the party accused the state resident electoral commissioner of bias, demanding his removal or redeployment. Professor Osinbajo, who is accompanied by the national chairman of the APC, Mr. Adams Oshomole, reassured party supporters of adequate security during the elections. In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party says that it will challenge the results of the elections of the 23rd of February in court and will petition the United Nations on what they describe as militarization of the polls. The decision was reached at an extended caucus meeting which held in Abuja and presided by the party's chairman, Prince Uche Secondus, who accused INEC and security operatives of compromise during the elections. The chairman also used the occasion to demand the release of the son-in-law of the presidential candidate of the party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Our correspondent Kayla Megwa reports.
The People's Democratic Party has vowed to reclaim what it has called its stolen mandate. The party chairman minced no words in stating this at every opportunity, and this was no different at this expanded caucus meeting. In addition, the party is demanding the release of the son-in-law and lawyer of its presidential candidate, insisting that all who are celebrating the victory of the All Progressives Congress at the February 23rd polls are celebrating criminality.
Those who are Democrats on the other side are celebrating criminality. The son-in-law to our presidential candidate was arrested for no justification. He's been detained and not released. His personal lawyer has been detained, no justification. He hasn't been released. And the leaders of our country are keeping quiet. The peace committee is keeping quiet.
Many of the party chieftains expected at this meeting are preparing for the governorship elections billed for the weekend. The party urges Nigerians to come out en masse and resist what he describes as intimidation by the military.
We ask our supporters to remain calm and ask INEC, is it the same thing that happened on the 23rd that will happen on the 9th? The decision to go to court, that has been finalized and agreed, and the process is on.
The People's Democratic Party says it has the full cooperation of all its members as it seeks litigation. That includes members who won at the National Assembly on February the 23rd and are insisting that they will resist any harassment or intimidation by the APC to stop the party from going to court. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
A group of politicians who say they represent a forum of presidential candidates today called on the People's Democratic Party candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to shelve his plans to challenge the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in court. The group, in a media briefing, anchored its appeal on the fact that both men are brothers and should be able to address issues concerning them out of court.
We urge the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, to disregard the advice of those asking him to challenge the outcome of the election in court. To borrow the popular adage in Africa, two litigants cannot resolve their differences in court and return to the same house as brothers. President Buhari and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar are brothers. We strongly urge Alhaji Abubakar to drop the legal option in expressing his grievance. This is consistent with the counsel of many well-meaning Nigerians, including General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, former president, and Chief Olisa Agbakoba. We also believe that the former vice president has made a mark among Nigerians of means who have forcibly impacted their communities. We think he has a lot more to contribute to developing humanity and promoting peace and progress in our nation, even without holding any political office. At his age, he should now avoid any action and utterances capable of fanning the embers of discord, disagreement, and violent conduct. Nigeria is greater than any personal or class interest.
The last is yet to be heard on the suspension of the governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, from the APC. In a press conference today in Owerri, the Imo State APC Factional Publicity Secretary, Einaya Onwebu, insisted that Governor Rochas Okorocha's suspension emanated from the state executive and was ratified by the national leadership of the APC.
The suspension did not originate from the national, it originated from Imo State, from where it should originate by our constitution. The national only has ratified the decision of the disciplinary committee approved by the state working committee of our party in the state that the governor be suspended and expelled from the party for anti-party activities. There is no way a governor elected under the platform of APC will be campaigning for an opposition party and telling us that the candidate is wearing the dressing of AA and is APC. So,
Governor Rochas Okorocha of Imo State had dismissed his suspension from the party, claiming that as a founding member of the APC, the national chairman cannot suspend him from the party. He will recall that during the National Assembly elections, Governor Rochas Okorocha won his senatorial seat on the platform of the APC. Ahead of the March 9th governorship and State House of Assembly elections, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Mr. Muhammad Adamu, is warning political actors who may be preparing to threaten the peaceful conduct of the exercise to play by the rules as stipulated in the Electoral Act or be prepared to face the full wrath of the law. Mr. Adamu says that the police lost 2 officers and also arrested 323 persons for various electoral offences during the presidential and National Assembly elections. He reaffirmed the commitment of the police to remain apolitical in the discharge of their duties while deploying all lawful assets to deal decisively with any person or groups planning to disrupt the governorship and National Assembly elections. The acting IGP was speaking at a meeting with senior police officers where the presidential and National Assembly polls was evaluated.
It is noted that updated statistics resulting from the presidential and National Assembly elections show that a total number of 323 offenders have so far been arrested for various electoral offenses and sundry crimes across the country. 2 officers also paid the supreme price with their lives, while some others were assaulted and injured. For those arrested for various electoral offenses, I have directed the Special Electoral Offenses Team of the force to undertake detailed and conclusive investigations into all the cases with a view to liaising with the INEC in ensuring their prosecution.
More stories now. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Oyo State, Mr. Seyi Makinde, has commended leaders of a coalition of political parties in the state for his adoption. In a statement, Mr. Makinde says that the party leaders, led by a former governor of the state, Rashidi Ladoja, and Senator Femi Lanley, amongst others, have displayed broad-mindedness and maturity in agreeing to adopt him as consensus candidate. According to the PDP flag bearer, the decision has now paved the way for the party to score a significant victory with the support of other patriotic leaders. Mr. Makinde expressed optimism that with the people's solidarity behind him, the ruling All Progressives Congress will be voted out of office. In part 2, after the break, separate attacks in Zamfara and Benue State claims about 30 lives. Join us again.